And we're off. Just gonna tweet this out. Welcome. Hello. Alright. All set to go. Just going back for it. I'm gonna see if I can pull that chapter title again. Yeah, there we go. Chapter 2 of 9. Franxis. Welcome to Chapter 2. Hello. You stand soaked and freezing, alone in the steamboat wharf at night. You just checked Uber, and no drivers are currently available, which you could have guessed might be the case at this hour during a pandemic. I'm gonna try that line again. You just checked Uber, and no drivers are currently available, which you could have guessed might be the case at this hour during a pandemic. Maybe you didn't fully think this plan through. No, you shouldn't second guess what you did just because of some momentary sogginess. You review the facts. A nasty cop fired a bullet at an unarmed drunk girl who just crashed into a tree. The bullet missed, but traveled directly through her painstakingly written manifesto, which really might as well have been like taking a bullet straight through the heart. What sort of author would you be if you didn't feel this way? So you did what had to be done. You checked the dead cop for a body camera, but he didn't appear to be wearing one. You're not sure if the sleepy NPD even uses those. Well, you thought they were sleepy at least. You guess all police forces in quiet summer colonies seem sleepy until the bullets start flying towards drunk girls armed to the teeth with manifestos. But that squad car surely had a dashboard camera, so you had to do something. What were you gonna do, shoot the gas tank and blow up the car? That probably only works in movies. And the water is right there. You're completely surrounded by the stuff, actually. Now the only evidence linking you to the scene is your wrecked car, registered to your name, in the immediate vicinity of a dead cop without a squad car. Okay, that sounds pretty incriminating when you put it that way. You'll have to think about how to handle that. But more importantly, you really need to get out of here. You check Uber one more time. Now it says there's a ride available, 6 minutes away. That's a relief. It'll give you some time to improvise an alibi. You dial 911 and think about what you're gonna say before hitting the dial button. The dispatcher picks up and asks about your emergency. You try to sound calm, because it's not a real emergency. And not when it comes to the role you're playing right now. You're still cozy and warm in your apartment. You just don't know where your car is. Hey, I don't know if this is a real emergency, I just didn't know where else to call. I'm pretty sure my car was stolen today. The dispatcher goes through the motions, asking for your name and other relevant information. Hi, welcome to the stream. No reason to hold anything back. You want them to know who you are, so they can rule you out when they find the body in the wreck. You then continue weaving your improvised story. Yeah, so I think it might have been my abusive ex-boyfriend? He's been snooping around lately, and he has a spare set of keys. Fucker never gave them back to me. The dispatcher asks about him. Damn, you didn't think this far ahead. You continue spinning. Oh, his name? I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm pretty scared of him. Not sure if I want to be on record ratting him out. Don't you have some witness protection shit I can do? The dispatcher explains that isn't really how it works, but they can send an officer over in the morning so you can file police report. Oh, wow. No, I don't think, You really need to end this call soon before the wheels completely fall off this attempted alibi. Hey, can I text photos to you, to 911 or the police? How do I do that? The dispatcher provides you with a number to text, and you hang up. Your mind races for the right play. You panic and send the most recent photo which comes to mind. That probably was not the best idea. Maybe you should have just hung up after saying you were scared to give his name. But you just had to go further with the bullshit. Witness protection program? What the hell was that? Oh well. It's done. It's a small wrinkle in your alibi, but you think you've easily done enough to leave the police feeling confused about what happened tonight. Your Uber's here. Not a moment too soon. You're freezing and exhausted. Somehow, role-playing on the phone with a first responder has been more psychologically draining than exchanging gunfire with one. Whoa! I can't believe he actually came! I've just been watching my phone all night waiting for you to tell me that you can't make it after all. Get in here. There's plenty to eat. I may... Z? Are you okay? Why are you so wet? You look soaked! Oh, yeah, I fell in a puddle on the way over. You were right, I was too drunk to drive, so I just took an Uber. It's hard to find a ride this time of night. Oh yeah, I bet. So you fell in a puddle? And got soaked head to toe? It was a big fucking puddle. Jesus. Why don't you go clean up? You can grab anything from my room to change into something dry. Yeah, dry. Sounds good. Okay, I'll be right here. I'll heat you up some dinner when you get back. Oh my god, you poor thing. You're having a rough day, aren't you? Don't worry, you made the right call coming over. I'll take care of you. Thanks, Mom. You can't bring yourself to tell her yet. Tonight was too much. You just need an evening to unwind without making Abby freak out about your cop murder. You're sure you'll get around to telling her later, if you can think of the right way to break it to her. She's been too good a friend to saddle her with the disastrous karma you can't seem to avoid stockpiling. Or perhaps you aren't stockpiling karma so much as dharma? Or maybe it's some chaotic juxtaposition of the two concepts. Maybe you've been key smashing your whole way through life, and only now is your soul reaping the auto-corrected consequences of this haphazard practice. Gotta ditch this. You stash it in one of the bottom drawers, underneath some junk. She'll probably never look in here. You guess you could have tossed the gun, too. Sent it to a watery grave along with the squad car. But now you're technically a fugitive. You trust the future even less than you did at the start of the day. There's no guarantee you won't need this again later. You didn't ask for this shit. Yeah, you guess you shouldn't have been driving drunk. But why should that mean you're suddenly dodging bullets from one of NPD's finest? Whatever, the pig is dead. But you know the matter isn't done with... you by a long shot. It'll keep haunting you unless you start fighting back. This was the gift that departed officer gave you tonight. An albatross that'll hang around your neck for the rest of your life. But you suddenly decide not to see it that way. The true gift he gave you was resolve. You're so pissed about it. Now you know you're on the right track. Your ambivalence about rebooting your brand is completely gone now. In its place is the same rage and disgust which led you to write your manifesto in the first place. Rage and disgust for injustice, for the systemic evils of this nation, for the weakness and compliance which quell the righteous outrage of its citizens. And now, several years after its completion, there's even more to be mad about. Persecution from the miserable wretches online who canceled you. The ensuing mental breakdown which caused your life to spiral until you ended up on this island. And now, on top of all that, an almost certain shitstorm brewing from law enforcement once they start piecing together what happened tonight. Well, they can do their worst. All the dirtbags out there can have at you soon enough, because you won't be hiding for much longer. Your brand is about to get a very serious facelift. And once you step into the spotlight again, from now on, people are going to find it a lot harder to ignore what you have to say. You and Abby have a lot of work to do tomorrow. The next day. Your name is Abby. It's pronounced exactly as it's spelled, so that's made life pretty easy for you. Another thing that's made life easy is the fact that your parents are rich. Rich doesn't really do it justice, though. Most people who vacation on this island for the summer are rich, relative to the average American citizen. Your parents are billionaires. And not the kind that barely qualify. 1 billion has 10 digits, but they didn't seem content to stop at 10, and society was more than happy to oblige. They own the house you live in, which represents a minuscule rounding error in the grand scheme of their total net worth. Easy to forget about most of the year, and they probably would if you didn't live here year-round. Growing up, you formed memories of this place strictly as a summer. But after college, you decided to move in here permanently. Mostly because it keeps them out of your hair. It's not the most convenient place to visit, so they never bother until the summer rolls around. And this year, it's looking more and more like the summer. As you once understood it, never will. It's roughly 9 a.m., and you have just woken up. Later than yesterday, but that's okay. You were up late last night tending to your beleaguered friend, and even popular influencers need to sleep in sometime. Your bedroom is tidy, and you always notice if it isn't. You make sure to keep it that way to reflect well on your brand whenever this room is used as a backdrop for your content. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone first thing in the morning, right after an extensive routine of cooking breakfast, exercising, and feeding your beautiful horse. Hi! Emojis. But right after all that, you go for your phone to check out the action surrounding your exceedingly well-trafficked accounts. For whatever reason, today feels a little different. Instead, you decide to take in the environment. As a thoughtful influencer, you really can't spend too much time tweaking the appearance of your lifestyle you sell to your adoring public. Nothing is left to chance. Your posters are carefully chosen and arranged to broadcast the preferred aesthetic to your crowd. And that aesthetic turns out to be a simple composite of your interests. Which, judging from this wall, appears to be BTS, horses, and... well, that's about it. Your mind is a train that chugs along precisely two narrow rails. You'd almost be embarrassed about the single-mindedness of your enjoyments, but what can you say? You like what you like, and you make no excuses. Your fans are nothing if not supportive of these twin obsessions. You get a little closer to a hanging graphic depicting your favorite boys. It's hard to resist basking in their glow every now and then. BTS is an extremely popular K-pop group, and you are a vocal member of ARMY, which is what the fandom calls itself. You estimate you spend the majority of your waking hours contemplating these 7 extraordinarily beautiful boys. Your bio says you're bisexual, but you often like to joke in your posts that you like women, as well as exactly 7 men, and that's it. You are also an avid Jikook truther, which is to say, you strongly believe that Jimin and Jungkook are secretly in love with each other. But you don't consider this a theory, or even a particularly well-kept secret. The evidence is overwhelming, and those who refuse to concede to these stone-cold facts are blind, delusional charlatans. Hi, Mira. Right? You've even written a manifesto on the subject, which, as you've told Z before, is something only crazy people do. But you are the one exception to that rule, since when it comes to this subject, you aren't crazy at all. Your eyes are wide open. Your wide open eyes wander to another poster, featuring a number of majestic stallions. What else is there to say on the matter? You just plain fucking love horses. Enough said? Yeah, you think so. Horses kick ass. The end. You meander towards your desk. Mostly cosmetic and hair supplies live here, plus some other silly stuff to keep things fun whenever you stream content from this station. Little conversation pieces, things for your fans to notice and comment on. Nothing from any fandom you're particularly interested in per se, but you are mindful of the interests of your followers, and you like to throw them little bones here and there. But when you're not streaming, or doing yourself up for shoots, this here is the main reason you find yourself at this desk. You primarily use this laptop to write your fics. Lately, it's all RPF stories dedicated to exploring the alternate universe lives of your 7 favorite boys. Many of these fics get pretty racy. None of your fans have the slightest idea this is one of your hobbies. You keep a pretty tight lid on the habit since it's frowned upon in many fandom circles, to say the least. Okay, the truth is, you think you'd get crucified if it got out. But you're not much like Z, and don't throw caution to the wind as she has in the past. Your brand is a tight ship. Well, except when it comes to effusively sharing your sexual exploits with your followers. In that sense, it's quite a loose ship. Ugh, sorry about the burp. But when it comes to writing fiction, that's a whole different can of worms, and heads will understandably roll if the wrong types of online stories were to be associated with your name. There's your horse. His name is David Hasselhoff. Your parents got him for you as a high school graduation present when he was just a wobbly-legged little colt. That makes him about 10 years old now. Yes, David Hasselhoff. When you graduated from Harvard, first thing you did was make plans to transport David to the island where you could reunite with him and tend to him on your own in the summer home. He is by far your favorite family member, the very essence of quiet strength and loyalty. As for the silly name, it came with the horse. You had never even heard of David Hasselhoff before you got him. You assume it's a pop cultural reference that boomers would get worked up about, but the way you saw it, who were you to fault them their pop culture references? God knows you're prone to indulging in the references held dear to you and your peers, so you can't possibly begrudge your elders the same simple joy. Besides, you thought the name was cute. Your phone is buzzing. Who could this be? Oh, it's Z starting a video chat. Not out of the ordinary, but quite ridiculous in this context. Considering she slept in your house last night. What up? Hey, you're awake. Kinda. Why don't you come downstairs? I'll make you something. Check out this bitch who can't seem to stop feeding me. What did I even do to deserve this bed and breakfast shit? You do realize I suck, right? You've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I just want to help you recuperate before you sink back into your den of despair. I don't know if I'll be going back anytime soon. Your parents' huge bed is super comfy. I must say, I enjoy rolling around in its extravagant expanse, getting my stank all over it. I feel like I'm marking my territory. I'm glad you're amusing yourself in there. I pissed in it, actually, to really get the job done. No, you didn't. Sure I did. Please tell me you didn't actually pee in my parents' bed. Well, no. Not yet, at least. I do have to pee kinda bad, though. Oh my fucking god, will you get the fuck out of there? Come on, we're in the same house, this is dumb. Let's hang out. Tell me about all your big plans. Oh yeah, that shit. I almost forgot why I made the harrowing journey to your manor. Yes, I know, you risked life and limb to get here and fell in a huge puddle. I'm hanging up now. Come downstairs. Whose dick do you have to suck to get a mimosa around here? Mine. Well, if I must. But if that's how it's gonna be, then your bed and breakfast is about to get a Yelp review for the ages. Z, why don't you hold off on the booze for a while? It isn't even 10 a.m. yet. Here, I will fix you some orange juice. What? I thought this was brunch. That's how you do brunch, right? Yesterday, you were so drunk you were barfing in your macaroni and falling into puddles. Oh. Yeah. Just slow down. My parents have a wine cellar which you can feel free to raid tonight. Wow, nice. The Yelp review just got a lot better. Good enough to bury the tawdry dick-sucking lead, at least. Ha! So speaking of last night, and falling into puddles. What about it? Well, you were completely soaked last night. But I noticed your manuscript was dry. Yeah, okay, so I lost my balance, and I could tell I was heading right for that puddle. The huge puddle. Yeah. And I didn't want my thing to get wet, because, like, printing out another one would just be a fucking pain. So as I was falling, I used my quarterback arm and, like, launched it to safety, and then splash, down I go. I see. Why is there a hole in it? Oh, that's a hell of a story. It looks like a bullet hole. Yeah, it is. I shot my own fucking manifesto. Huh? You mean last night? No. This was like years ago when I finished the thing. Remember my whole mental breakdown? Oh, damn. I mean, yes, you've told me the story, but I guess not all of it? The day I finished that thing coincided almost exactly with The day I finished that thing coincided almost exactly when all that was going down. Like, when my dad died, and I dropped out of school, and then completely fell apart, and said all that crazy shit online. I also finished my manifesto, and I guess I, shot it. Due to going nuts. Jesus. Well, you're the one who tells me only crazy people write manifestos. Is it really that surprising I'd pop a cap in my own magnum opus? I guess not. I have to admit, I feel kind of crazy maintaining my own manifesto. But I don't think I would ever shoot it. That just means you can't be all that passionate about it. Oh, excuse me, but that is bullshit. I mean every word of it with all my heart. You should read it. Babs, I'm not reading your sordid K-pop manifesto. Oh, why not? I'm trying to understand your stuff and help you with it. I'm trying to understand your stuff and help you with it. Because you don't need to sell me on anything. If you say that your boys Jim Cook are fucking each other, then I believe you. But there's so much to it. Yeah, and I believe it. Just let those boys be in love, you know? Good for them. I don't need it proven through your painstaking academic rigors. Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, unlike you, I am intellectually curious enough to delve into another woman's delirious manifesto. Oh, you read it? A few pages. That is, what little I could glean around the gaping bullet hole. So what do you think? It's unsurprisingly quite intense. I'd expect nothing less. It's also very, what? Clown heavy? Yeah. I mean, it's all about clowns. Wasn't this all just inspired by your Juggalo phase? I don't know about that. There are a lot of inspirational forces that went into this. Mostly, all this shit came to me in a series of increasingly psychotic dreams in the run-up to my mental breakdown. That's pretty hardcore. Now you want to turn whatever this is into your new brand? Yup. I'm fully committed to it now. On a fucking mission. Well, cool. I mean, I remember you talking about it before, but it was always in the vague context of some crazy thing you wrote. Not something you actually wanted to do something with. So if I'm going to help you out, maybe you can explain it to me a little more? Mostly, it's a bunch of revolutionary rhetoric about America and capitalism sucks and should be destroyed. Naturally. But the socialist rhetoric is repackaged to be like, super clowny. Well, who doesn't love a nice clown? Fucking nobody. Yeah, that shirt is great, isn't it? So that's it? Lots of radical left-wing philosophy, plus like, everyone gets to be a clown? Basically. But there's a lot more to it. There's also tons of lore. Lore? Yeah, that's what my feverish dreams provided mostly. It's so much shit. I don't actually know what the shirt is. If you know, let me know. but at this point, I'm just loving the vibe. I talk about where these ideas came from. The Jubilites originated on the planet Whimsify. Gonna call it the Germa shirt until proven otherwise. I mean, it works. He's the Joker, baby. Whoa, a planet? So Jubilites are alien clowns? Yeah, well, they were. Their civilization died millions of years ago, and their founder has been communicating to me through dreams. Not literally, I mean. I know they're just dreams, but that's what the lore says. Whimsify. That's how it's pronounced. But it's spelled Wimsiphae. Whimsify. Well, cool. I didn't know it was this deep. I guess this was a whole creative writing project then? Not just a crazy manifesto? Oh no, it's still crazy as fuck. But yeah, it runs very deep. I think with my new brand, I'll just release the whole thing sequentially. Like in little bits, a few pages at a time. Okay, so where do we start? Well, obviously the first thing I'm gonna need is a new clown sona. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, clowns are fun as shit. That's the whole point of them. That's how I envision rebooting my brand. I just start the fuck over. Then I come out with my clown sona and I'm like, hey, this is me now. I'm a fucking clown. And I do a bunch of photo shoots, and that's my starting content. Once I establish myself that way, then I start rolling out the serialized manifesto content. Like, start pitching that to people, and see if I can drag more enthusiastic new clowns into my tent. This sounds great! I can help you come up with a clown sona. Maybe later I can make one too. Oh, I'd expect nothing less. You'd make such a lovely Jubilite. Wow, flattery will get you everywhere. It better, bitch. So how about after breakfast we head up to my vanity mirror? We can give you a whole glow up. A clown up? Hell yeah. Later. This needs to be better than my old Juggalo clown sona. What did that look like? Do you have any photos? Probably. But it just looked like some edgy teen piss. And you don't need to see that shit. It will contaminate our results. Didn't you also cosplay a long time ago? You should be an old hand at this. Maybe you don't even need my help. Yeah, I did when I was a kid. But you don't have nearly the amount of gray makeup it would take to duplicate those results. Huh? Never mind that. We won't be speaking of that. You know they cosplayed Gamzee, honk. You know they did. Come on, there's no fucking way. That's a Gamzee cosplayer if I've ever seen one. I just want to make some cool clown shit happen here. I think I want to do something with Z's. Z's? Like my name? Oh, yeah. Here, let me try something. Oh, actually, that's fucking sick. You like it? Yeah, I do. Abs, for a ridiculous bimbo, you can be a genius sometimes. I mean, I did graduate from Harvard, you know. Yeah, by fucking all the professors, right? Yes, Gamzee! You get it! You get it! It's all coming together. Well, yes, but isn't that what a genius would do? Yeah, I rest my case. Here, let me mess with this look some more. Oh, look at you! This is so cute! It's not supposed to be cute, though. It's supposed to be badass. Well, it's that too, but mostly it's cute. Because I know who's underneath. Oh my god. What? I don't know. Maybe my clownsona's working too well. You're already hitting on me. Yeah, it is cute. But I always do that. I know, but now I've added clown pheromones to the equation. Could be dangerous. Perhaps. So, is that it? You think you're done? With the face, yeah. But obviously I need some new ensembles. Yes, clown pheromones. None of your clothes are going to cut it because you're an absurd giant. Seriously. I can't explain why, but Abby gives me constant trans girl, horse girl vibes. Like, just all of the references to her being big and having a dick, you know, the subtle stuff. Anyways, none of your clothes are gonna cut it because you're an absurd giant. And I don't want to go back to my place anytime soon, because, well, I just don't. We could always go shopping this week. More places are open for business than you would think. Yeah? What about a name? What? Doesn't your clownsona need a clowny name? No, I think I'll just keep my name. Since it's already a name I gave myself to replace my parent-given name, I'll rebrand and all, but I won't keep name-hopping like a fool. I guess that makes sense. Some old haters will link my new brand with my controversial past, but I don't even really care at this point. They can take their best shot. I'm not running anymore. Am I allowed to make up a clowny name when I make a clownsona? Of course. That is strongly encouraged for all those who choose to clown up. Oh, I know what I'll go with. My old screen name when I was a kid. Apple Pie. Am I... Oh, I see. Well, now who's the one being fucking cute? I guess it was me when I was 10 years old and playing Neopets? But also, it's still you in your cute clown makeup. You're right. It's a shame to waste all this clowny cuteness on my gay mother, who would think I was cute even if I took a shit right on her bedroom floor. Wow. So why don't we take the new brand for a spin and see what the people think? Yeah, right? Millennial confirmed, played Neopets. But you don't have your new fits yet. Whatever, I'll just take a headshot selfie. You want in on this? Huh, okay. You clear out your Instagram account, deleting the photos from your stale brand, and post the inaugural selfie of your new clownsona. Abby cross-posts the same photo to her account and tags you in it. No going back now. The new brand has officially launched. The day slips by as you monitor the comments and feedback on your humble starter post. I know, right? So cute. The reception for your clownsona is almost universally positive. You can't tell if it's real praise, or if Abby's followers are just being polite to her friend, who's an obvious charity case and just got a nice pity shout out. Yeah, Abby is really rich. That'll matter later. It doesn't matter though, because at the end of the day, clout is clout, and you have to start somewhere. You already have over 10,000 new followers, which seems like an absurdly high number to you. But when you consider you're just siphoning off some of Abby's following of 3 million, it's just a tiny drop in the bucket. Still, it's a strong start for only having posted a single clown selfie. And now it's up to your showmanship to build on it. Still clowned up, huh? Yeah, I'm living in the paint for a while, trying to get into character. There's a character? I thought your clownsona was just you. Well, it is. The Jubilite Manifesto says your clownsona is an expression of your truest self. Like a final form. Sounds like some anime shit. It's totally some anime shit. Well, it sure seems like people are enjoying your clownsona. I think they're just being polite for now. It's all a bit patronizing. Your followers just like whatever you do, so of course they're going to be nice to your weird clown friend. Well, we'll see how they really feel when I start rolling out my actual content. I'm really curious to see where it goes. I'll just keep giving you shoutouts until we can get your brand to take flight. I can't believe what a chicken shit I was. I can't believe what a chicken shit I was being about following you. This could be so fun! The losers who'd have a problem with me supporting you aren't even worth my consideration anyway. Yeah, basically. And besides, nobody's even said anything yet. Maybe because no one has connected me with my previously problematic identity yet? Suppose that's one advantage to clowning up. Keep the old haters guessing. The haters will probably catch on soon enough. And then we'll see what actual consequences that will have. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I hope they show themselves. Makes it easier for me to keep an eye on them. Yeah, whatever. Life is too short to worry about how the opinions of shitty people reflect on your reputation. We're just having some fun here. Speaking of which, looks like you found the wine cellar. Oh, yeah. I highly recommend the, 2016 domain George's Rumor Musigny. Excellent vintage. I know I could have pronounced that right, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have pronounced it right. That's just the spirit I'm feeling from this. Ah, if you say so. I don't actually know anything about wine. Neither do I. I just looked around the cellar and checked prices online. This was the most expensive shit I could find. It goes for 17 grand a bottle. Really? The internet says so, yeah. I had no idea my parents had such pricey stuff down there. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. That bottle of wine could have fucking paid my entire year of rent. God damn it. They also have a bunch of fucking Bentleys in the garage. There's one Bentley and a few other cars, but yeah, they spend money on a lot of stupid things. Maybe we should have saved this super expensive wine for a special occasion, though. Bitch, this is a special occasion. Just a couple of friends hanging out for the first time in forever, clowning up and making plans to cause problems on purpose. You're right. If this doesn't count as a $17,000 night, then I don't know what does. Cheers! Let this mark the beginning of a long and fruitful endeavor to exploit the living shit out of your parents and their obscene hoard of ill-gotten wealth. I'll certainly drink to that. What else did you have in mind? Give me some time to build the brand first, then I'll let you know what's up. It's all related, you'll see. The suspense is killing me. I hope you're prepared to bring this level of showmanship to your new brand and not waste it all on me. You don't need to worry about that. You just keep supplying me with fresh new Sims, and I'll play the role of Ringmaster. Who's calling? Oh, nobody. Just some fucking spam. 1 week later. Z69 Clownboner 420 has added she-they Jubilite, if they didn't already, and has 509,000 followers, is following just Abby. Right? Oh, I will never get over that username. After 7 days and nights of being supplied with a steady diet of fresh new Sims due to Abby's enthusiastic hype, combined with your newfound flair for social media ringmastering, your Instagram following has ballooned to a figure you can barely comprehend. Just over 500,000 new subscribers. This total was unfathomable to you at one point, but you have to keep reminding yourself that this is a modest fraction of Abby's total fandom. They count as your fans now too, only by the promotion she has generously provided. The true test comes soon, when you begin to flex your vision in front of a sizable starting crowd. You've begun releasing the introductory portions of your manifesto, which have been met with largely positive reception, if somewhat confused as well. While your new fans appear to be humoring your dogmatic content, they mainly seem to be here for the novelty of your clowny e-girl stuff. You're rolling in more simps than you know what to do with now. An almost limitless reservoir of thirsty boys would appear to be at your disposal for just about anything. Of course, they're mostly all the same eager simps who've been hounding after Abby for years, who seem more than willing to migrate to a greener, clownier pasture. Of course, as expected, a few old aunties have begun to surface as well, and they brought receipts. You knew they would. You simply delete some of the comments containing links to your previously problematic behavior, block, and move on. Their negativity is overwhelmingly drowned out by other more positive comments regardless. Steph P9089. An absolutely disgusting person. If you stand this problematic piece of garbage, unfollow me now. That Gerald. Fires and clowns. PickleRick.fart. Total shit. Yup. PickleRick.fart. This is a relief to see, and it helps you rise above the hate. But you don't rise above it before you take note of every single hater and anti who smears you and your comment sections and elsewhere. Who smears you in your comment sections and elsewhere. You make sure to maintain a thorough list of every nasty piece of shit before you block, move on, and benevolently rise above the noise. They are nothing to you now except motivation. Candace Schmandos, PickleRick.fart, Eric B0452, NB Garfield, Steph P9089, The Catra Homie for Bojack, Soft Boy Makara. Oh, there's the Gansey reference. Lol, what Wendy 10203. PickleRick.shit. PickleRick.balls. How dare you, NB Garfield? Motivation to prove them wrong and make them deeply sorry it ever even occurred to them to post such unkind words about a cute and creative clown girl with a sensational new brand. Your sharp rise on the coattails of your famous friend has all been good fun to monitor, but the fact is, you've barely even begun revealing the good shit. And before you share that stuff with your fandom, you'll need to make sure Abby is up to speed on the next phase of your campaign. Abby, we need to talk about Pranksis. What? Pranksis. It's the first critical piece of Jubilite doctrine I'll be unveiling soon. But you need to know about it first. And more importantly, much more importantly, you need to practice it. I do? Why? Because pretty soon this movement is going to need money. And I mean an absolute fuck ton of money. As generous as you've been with your credit cards helping me buy new clothes and shit, that level of financing isn't really going to cut it. But one of my credit cards has $1 million limit. Wow. A whole $1 million. That's cute. Cute? Z, you drive a fucking Kia. And yet I am the one with an exceptionally refined palate for expensive wine. And also, I know $1 million is a bullshit chicken feed number. You need to start thinking bigger. Maybe you should try to relax. Your account is off to such a good start. Between the two of our accounts, we could pool together some really good revenue streams. If you start stressing about how it's all chicken feed money or whatever, you won't have any fun. Wasn't that the point of all this? To have fun? Abby, you still don't understand. Pranksis is the very essence of having fun. And the more money you make, the more it multiplies the fun you're having. Okay, I'm sure that's true and all. But that's one of the points I've always been trying to make with my parents. I'm already doing some serious numbers. I know I half-assed my business degree, but I've actually been able to translate my following into a pretty profitable situation, while having a good time doing it. So my parents can both go eat shit about my bad career choices. Oh, that shirt. Yes. Yeah, on the topic of your parents, that's what this is about. I thought this was supposed to be about Pranksis. It's also about Pranksis. Well, what the fuck is Pranksis? Pranksis is fucking everything. A mission-critical plank in the Jubilate platform. A central pillar, actually. It's what most of my manifesto's sanctioned clownery revolves around. It also happens to be the key to how I start bankrolling the fuck out of this jam. Alright, genius, so what is it? Well, you know what a prank is? Yes. Do you know what praxis is? No. Okay, forget all that then. It doesn't actually matter for the time being. Let's talk about your parents. If you help me out with this, then that'll be your first real-life lesson in pranksis. When's the last time you talked to them? Oh, a couple days ago, actually? They rarely call, but they do keep an eye on my accounts. And I guess they noticed I've been doing something different lately. They sure do hate your crazy socialist diatribes. But I also have them believing this is all just an act to own the libs or whatever. Like, good for ratings and all, but down the road we're just gonna fuck with people about it. Turn it into a racket or something. It's just easier to deal with them if I tell them things like that. They think it's a good idea in theory, but wow, you sure do rile them up. This is all incredibly good, actually. Abby, you didn't even know it, but you're quite naturally gifted with the art of pranksis already. I am? Yeah, this is the perfect table setting. Prepping the marks and all. So I don't even think I have much explaining to do here. I just need you to call them again soon. I already typed a bunch of notes for you to hit in your conversation. Okay. By now, you've become considerably more familiar with the finances of Abby's family. Over the past week, you've pieced together a more complete picture through questioning Abby and a few other methods of research. Their political activity was some of the easiest stuff to find. Over the last 4 years, they've been steadily making huge donations to the Trump campaign. But more recently, it looks like they've switched to becoming heavy Biden donors. You're sure it's not for any ideological reasons, but likely due to the entire Trump charade looking more like a sinking ship all the time, especially in light of the pandemic response and its economic fallout. You can tell this move must have been a bitter pill for her dad to swallow, and while he is kind of a dumbass, he's not so stupid as to let a perfectly hollow, easily corruptible president waltz into office without taking a whole bunch of his money first. The truth is, in the man's heart of hearts, you doubt he really gives a shit which senile rapist gets to run the show, as long as he gets to take photos with him at $50,000 per plate fundraising dinners. And if you take a closer look at the companies which they own a lot of shares in, it becomes pretty obvious the economic disruption has hit them pretty hard. Yes, this piece of media is all about COVID. Wild swings in their total net worth to the tune of billions. Their money people must have been moving the assets around like crazy to protect what's left. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the beginning, but this takes place in April of 2020. Although by now it might be May. It may have been a couple of weeks. It's been at least one. It's hard to pin down their total net worth given the complexity of the holdings, but your recent estimates have it somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. On the East Coast? Yeah, I mean... It is Nantucket. Like, the island of Nantucket, Massachusetts. And they've also... They've used the map of Nantucket and mentioned it's the Nantucket Police Department and Brookline. Percy from Brookline. All real places. Hussy's a real fan of just using fucking Google Maps. Massachusetts. Oh, I'm not criticizing. I figured if you missed it, this is a good reason to catch you up, you know? Some of these things can slip by real easy, especially given the very, yeah, of course. Especially given the very, heightened sense of the whole thing is very fantasy-esque. But yeah, these are real pictures. This is a real house. And it's a real house in Nantucket, no less. Your recent estimates have it somewhere between 20 and $30 billion. But probably not for long, depending on the economy, of course, as well as what you and Abby have managed to put into motion with your revolutionary new philosophy, known as Pranksis. Yeah, full of rich fucks. Telling me. Fuck. Massachusetts, in general, unless you go as far west as fucking Dorchester, real hard to find affordable housing, let me tell you the fuck what. So, I just had a pretty long talk with them. They were really surprised I called, but happy to hear from me. I never call out of the blue like that. That's good. What happened? I just went through everything you listed for me. Yeah, New York City definitely takes the cake, but as far as, average, the whole state, definitely harder to live in Massachusetts than the state of New York, I'll say that much. A lot more of New York is rural, thus the, the red that you can see on most electoral maps, even though we wind up, still winning as a blue state. Upper Hudson Valley is affordable now? Jeez. Yeah, I literally moved to Western New York because it's more affordable. To an island in Western New York because it's more affordable. Well, it's not the most affordable place around, but it's the most affordable place that also has access to all of the chemical manufacturing companies. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I've lived in the Hudson Valley briefly. And that was not affordable housing. And, yep. Westchester specifically. Yep. I know the deal. I saw the gentrification all the way out as far as, Newburgh? And White Plains. Don't get me started on White Plains. Fuck White Plains. But naturally, you know? Which meant I had to talk for a long time. Just bullshitting away with small talk, so it didn't seem suspicious. Yeah, me too. I used to have to bus in and out of White Plains, and it just... bleh. Hate that place. That's great. See? I told you. You barely need any coaching at all. Ha! Come on, Z. Why are you so surprised I'm good at working my parents? I've been bamboozling these people my whole life. I bet. Go on. Finally got around to bringing up the Bitcoin stuff again. Actually, it was pretty smooth because I already brought it up, what, like a year ago? Remember that? Yeah, 'cause I told you to. I know! Have you really been planning this for that long? At the time, I thought you were just having me do it as a goof. It was a goof, but it also served the double purpose of laying the groundwork in case we ever wanted to finally make all this stuff happen. That's how you have to do it. Think long term, and just make the most of future opportunities as they present themselves. Or create those opportunities, like we're doing now. Yeah, so I started babbling about Bitcoin shit again, per your notes. But I still feel like I don't know what I'm talking about when I get into it. I know you don't. It's good you sound a little confused about it, because you are. You're not supposed to be an expert. This is just stuff you've been reading up on a little. All you're doing is priming them. Right. So are you really gonna hack all of my parents' money? Like, that wasn't just more of your outrageous bullshit all this time? Abby, this is what hacking is. It's like 90% social engineering. You need to be patient, plant all these seeds along the way, set up points of psychological leverage. And then when the time is right, you have to be like a little bit of low-end and when the time is right and you have like a little bit of low-end programming ready to go. This is all a lot easier than it sounds. I'm telling you, trans girls, they're hackers. Trans girls, they're trans and they're lesbians. Okay, maybe they're not lesbians, but they're definitely trans. And I'm pretty sure both of them are bi. It is. It is? Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of stuff lately. Ha! I bet you have. Over the last week, I've been micro-targeting your parents on Facebook with ads for Bitcoin shit. Oh my god. For the service I want them to be using, of course. It's a real service. Deals in high-volume crypto transactions. The point is to get them to do the real shit first, and then it gets tricky with it a little, The point is to get them to do real shit first, and then get tricky with it a little later. Okay. I've also been emailing them shit that looks legit enough, kind of bombarding them with info. Offhand testimony from trusted people, other rich fucks spooked about the economy, and now you're one of the human lovers too. When the time comes, you're gonna be the one who pushes them to make the final move. Who are the trusted people? I mean, they're fake. It's all just me. It started with a few chain emails. You know the ones boomers love to reply to and forward around. It's like catnip. They can't fucking help themselves. Put a ton of crap email addresses in the recipient field, including a bunch from people I know they're acquaintances with. Nobody too close, but names of other rich people they'd recognize and listen to if they saw them babbling about crypto as a way to protect their billions in a dumb email chain. Wow. I actually did this on a whim, being skeptical of the returns, but it's been working phenomenally. I got your mom to reply to one of these chains a few times credulously. I worked her a little bit with one of the sock puppets, some other rich dude she's met. It's so easy to get these names. The Republican donor lists are kind of a goldmine. Wait, you've been talking to my mom? Sure, why not? That isn't even the good part. What? After I got her interested enough in the subject, I had this dude kinda pull her aside. I deleted all the names from the chain and just worked her one-on-one. Got pretty flirty. Turns out your mom's a real saucy bitch. What? The bottom line is, she's sort of having an affair now. Sorry, Abs, your mom's getting a lot more side action from me than you could ever manage. Oh my god! Yes. Yes, literally, she's seducing her mom. Please don't be jealous. It's just some undercover spy work. Like some James Bond shit. This breathtakingly horny Karen means nothing to me, I promise. This breathtakingly horny Karen. I'm losing my mind? Well, if I knew you'd be this hot and bothered by it, I would have just blind copied you on all the emails. I mean, I still could. Ah! See, you, I don't even. You're unbelievable. How do you even come up with shit like this? Cool your jets, Abby. I already said what's going on. It's just a bit of playful pranksis, that's all. Not even that far along in the process, really. It's only phase 1. Phase 1? Yeah, I'm just setting them up. At the right moment, you, a beloved and trusted daughter who is famous and influential, will knock them down. Okay, I believe you. But how do I do that? Fine, I'll just walk you through the play. The thing to do now is wait for the right opportunity. Everybody is already spooked about the economy, so we pick our spot, And when we do, we exploit their fears over more huge stock market losses to swoop in with the Bitcoin hit. And I work my angles too, like your mom. My email chain Romeo says he just shifted most of his assets to crypto to ride this out, whereas you're coming at it like an heiress. Just say you're trying to do your part to protect the family fortune. You push the same exchange site I've been pushing with my micro-targeting. So I get them to buy tons of bitcoins, and then you hack the coins? Nah, there's no hacking involved, just stealing. The exchange service really exists. It's a real way to buy coins, and you put them all in a wallet. Their financial people will agree this is a sound way to do it. It's solid and vetted. I don't expect them to do anything their money guys wouldn't sign off on. We just step into the middle of the process. The part where your dad stores the shit in the digital wallet. I designed a spoof wallet site that looks and functions exactly like the real site he's buying from. Similar URL. Even asks for a password first. Do you have his password? No, don't you see yet? These are all mind games. You enter any shit in the login fields and it works fine. But he will enter his real name and password. At which point, the game's over. Once I have that, I could do almost anything. But it doesn't even need to stop there. He could even just go right ahead, feeling confident it's a secure site because it just accepted his password. And then he stores the coin data directly into my fake-ass wallet. At which point, he has just fucking handed the coins right over to me. It's basic phishing shit. Usually people are more on guard for things like this, but not if trusted family members are sending them links being all like, "Cool, you're almost there, Dad. Now open the wallet. Here's a link to that." Yeah, I see. And once the coins are ours, that's it. Their money's gone. I resell them, move the money around a bit, stash it in offshore accounts. My guess is if we pull it off, it would be a long time before he even realized it was gone. And if that happens, I don't know, just blame hackers or whatever. Well, hackers did take it. Exactly. So how much are we going for here? Like, all their money? Probably not. No way anyone's pushing through a $20 or $30 billion Bitcoin transaction. And their money people would shit bricks if it was proposed. But you hype them up for this as much as possible, whatever their guys can agree to as a sound diversification policy. Okay. Z, what are you even gonna do with all this money? I have some ideas. Oh boy. Well, I can't wait to find out what they are. Ding dong. Huh? Who could that be? Uh-oh. Chapter 3 of 9. Wild Card. Why are the police here? Oh god. Abby, you can't tell them I'm here. What? Why? Because they're looking for me. That's definitely why they're here. They finally started snooping around my social media and they connected me with you and... God damn it, I should have known this would happen. Z, what did you actually do? Does this have to do with the Bitcoin stuff? No, not at all. It's worse. I just have to hide. I'm going out back to the horse barn. Please just get rid of them, Abby. I'll explain everything later. The horse barn? No, just stay in my room. Please, don't do anything stupid. I can handle this. No, I can't be in here. What if they have a warrant? We need to hide. Tell them it's unconstitutional to search a woman's horse barn. Okay, first of all, it's a stable, not a barn. Also, I don't think that's even true. Sure it is. Just, keep mentioning the Constitution. The Constitution protects your rights as a horse owner. Just say that until they fucking go away. I'm not talking about the Constitution with a fucking cop. If they don't have a warrant, I'll just make them go away. I'll say I haven't seen you in a while. Then, can you tell me what's actually going on? Yeah, sure. Just get rid of those fucking cops. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine too. Yeah. Flee. David Hasselhoff. Oh, sad Z. Z flee. You keep an eye out to make sure the police go away. Sure enough, they drive off after what seems like an eternity. Looks like Abby got the job done. Uh-oh. But she's mad now. Uh-oh. Okay, the cops are gone. I think you have some explaining to do. I can explain. Yes, maybe you can start with your car and why they found it near a dead cop? I was gonna tell you about what happened last night, but I couldn't bring myself to. Oh, I was gonna tell you about what happened that night, but I couldn't bring myself to. We were having a good time, and I didn't want to ruin everything by talking about dead cops and all the shit I went through, like that. And all the shit I went through that night was, traumatic. Okay, it sounds like you went through something terrible. So, let's just slow it down. I'm not mad you didn't tell me, I promise. But please, just tell me everything, because obviously I'm involved now. I need to know everything so we can figure out what to do. Yeah, that's fair. Well, the bottom line is I shot a cop. What? You said you'd be cool. Okay, I will be, but holy shit! When? Was this the night you came over soaking wet? Yeah. Oh god, and that fucking bullet hole. That was a cop bullet. God damn it, I knew that was all fishy. You've just been lying your ass off about all this. Spinning all these crazy stories about how you shot your own manifesto like it was some manic creative episode. When you were just covering up a cop killing? Please don't be mad at me. You said you wouldn't be mad. I'm not mad, I'm just losing it. It would all be kind of funny if it wasn't so serious. So, if I'm understanding right, you actually tried to drive to my house that night, even though you were drunk, and I told you not to do that. You crashed somewhere, and a cop came by, and then he shot at you? Yeah. Why? I was trying to grab my manifesto, and I think he thought I was reaching for a gun, so I started mouthing off at him, and he fired. So I, jumped at him, and I guess I kind of wrestled him for a bit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I got his gun, and I shot him a bunch of times. I don't regret it, because he was a piece of shit and deserved it. Yeah, so I'm still not really... And you got a ride to my place? No, the cop's dash cam probably recorded me. So I took the police car and drove it into the ocean. Oh my fucking god, the puddle! Why, you sneaky bitch. But yeah, I got an Uber from the wharf after that. Then I kept meaning to tell you, but I could never bring myself to. I just wanted to forget about it, really. Guess I can't blame you. It sounds horrifying. Well, it was, for the pig bastard I shot. Damn. I really need some time to process all this. Wait. The cops showed me a picture of some guy. They asked me if I've seen him before. Oh. Shit. That was probably Percy. Percy? The simp I was fucking with before I went out that night. Why do they have that guy's picture? Because I gave it to them. Z! I know. It was stupid. I called 911 to report my car stolen to set up an alibi, sorta. And then they kept asking fucking questions, so I panicked and said he was my ex-boyfriend. I shouldn't have, though. It was the one mistake I made in an otherwise flawless cover-up. Flawless! Sure. You should probably tell him he's been implicated in a crime. I've been thinking about it, but if I couldn't bring myself to tell you, imagine how I feel about dealing with him. Also, whatever I say to him, I might just be incriminating myself. I need to think about it more. You also, couldn't have picked a worse possible time to be a fugitive? You just launched a whole social media brand and have a ton of new followers. In fact, that's almost certainly how they connected you with me. I know it is. That's why they came to your house. Ugh, I'm sorry. See, you really are such a spectacular fucking disaster. I know. God. I'm a complete fuck-up, and I'm scared about all this. I don't know what to do except, keep fighting. I think that's why I've been pushing so hard with all this brand shit. Why? To fight? Yeah. I don't want to cower. Not from the people who hate me, not from my past, not from the fucking police. Yeah, kinda like that, of all the things here, dead cops don't seem to be really making the top of the list. They just, completely agree. Fucking dead pig, oink oink. More concerned about the drunk driving because Z could have gotten hurt. All cops are bastards. I guess this is the only way I know how. That sort of makes sense. It's pretty risky, though. But it's not like any of this was really your fault. You were just defending yourself. Yeah, but they won't see it that way if they catch me. Of course not. But don't worry, I won't let them catch you. Just stay in my house until we can get this to blow over somehow. But from now on, we shouldn't stream or make content together. And don't make it obvious you're posting content out of my house. You can't give the cops any reason to think you're hiding here. You actually think I should keep working on my brand? Of course I do! You're doing great so far. The Jubilate stuff is so, crazy and weird. A lot of my fans are really clicking with it. Plus, we're only getting warmed up with our Pranksis efforts. Yeah, it would be a shame to pull the plug on that now. Your parents are on the ropes. When all is said and done, what difference is a little more crime gonna make? In for a penny, right? In for $1 billion. Only $1 billion? Pfft, that's a chicken feed number. I've been trading you too well. I just don't want to see you give up. It would suck so much to let this shitty incident defeat you when you were the one who was attacked. I know, right? Isn't this so great? Just keep following your vision. I'll do everything I can to protect you. Alright, I'll keep fighting then. Good. What's next on the Jubilate agenda? I was gonna post the next chapter soon. This is where the dogma starts getting dicey. Huh? Dicier than Pranksis? Abby says don't let your dead cop dreams be dreams. Yes! Live your dream. Well, not legally dicey. I mean socially. Oh, this is the best part! It's entering the arena of weird gender shit. Kinda skirting the edges of whatever I was ranting about when I got myself fucking canceled during my nuclear meltdown. Yes, we have gone from dead cops to weird gender shit. Like that! Ah! Oh no. It should be fine though. I think this is all actually good shit. Yes! It's time for clown gender! And fuck the haters anyway. I think the brand is beyond cancellation at this point. They can try their worst, but it all just goes into the discourse machine now. I'll use it to my advantage to keep business booming. Honk. For the record, I am kind of clown gender. On the spectrum, I'm not the tip of the pinnacle. I'm working on it. I aspire to it. But little clown gender as a treat. About halfway up. You'll see. You'll see the graph. There's a graph. That's what I like to hear. I'm excited to see it. When does it drop? I still need to walk everybody through Pranksis. That's a whole fucking thing, as you know. It certainly is. But maybe in a week they'll be ready for the real truth bombs. Great. I'm happy to hear you have a plan. I was really rattled by the police stuff, but I think if we work together, we can get this under control. Yeah. Let's just try to forget about all this for today. It's really upsetting hearing about what happened to you. Oh, just give David Hasselhoff some good pets. Yes, that's a good horsey. Oh yes. Hug the horse. It's fine. I'm benefiting from the healing vibes of Dave Hoof, the true MVP of this outfit. Yeah, he sure is. Why is it always Dave and horse? This is happening in Homestuck too. Maplehoof. Maplehoof is associated with Dirk and Dave eventually. I know for now he's associated with the Lalondes, but that'll change. 1 week later. Z69 Clown Boner 420. 163 posts, 997,000 followers. Another week slips by like it's nothing. The passage of time is helpless against the momentum of your brand. The march toward 1 million followers is as inexorable as it is captivating. Even Abby, with her vast following, is taken aback by your rapid rise. You may have captured lightning in a bottle, which is hard to explain. Could it be the intrinsic allure of clowns? The socialist demagoguery? Your unique flavor of showmanship? Or your ability to manipulate discourse and controversy to your benefit? Is it still just a matter of riding Abby's multi-million follower coattails? Or maybe it's just plain pandemic-driven boredom juicing the numbers. Yeah, clowns are hot as fuck. No one seems to have the answer, but it's hard to argue with the results. Apple pie! Few have taken to the jubilant lifestyle with more gusto than Abby herself. In the previous week, she has unveiled her new clown Sona to uproarious acclaim. Apple pie is a hit, and her clown Sona posts are getting higher levels of engagement than even she's used to. Yeah. Something peculiar is going on which wasn't supposed to happen. Her following is spiking right along with yours. She began at around 3 million, and now it's sitting at 3.5. There's an unanticipated synergy between your two brands, which lends something to the claim that you aren't just coasting off her cloud anymore. She's starting to get a boost from yours as well. Peter Griffin enthusiast. I ship Zabble Pie, to be honest. Jeffrey.Jubilite. All I see here is queen shit. Clown fan 9387. We eatin' good with all this serve. That Gerald. Fire, clown, and hands. Now that she's figured out radical clown energy is nearly as good for business as fashionably standing certain K-pop groups, she continues hyping your brand with all the more enthusiasm. Yes, Pranksis life hacks in Comic Sans. Yes. Your public lessons on Pranksis are a hit as well. Stories of the fandom's implementation of these ideas have begun to circulate, which is becoming a form of content unto itself. Abby's been doing a masterful job of convincing her parents it's just a part of their ploy to own the gullible lips, drive clicks, and take their money. Anyone eavesdropping on her calls with her parents now would be hard-pressed to tell her apart from a staunch Republican. She gives all credit to her mom and dad for training her too well on how to sound like them. But tonight, you prepare for something completely different. It has nothing to do with financially subverting the wealthy in a playful manner. You're now diving into the part of your manifesto which engages in the delicate politics of various social constructs. The delivery requires a deft touch, so you take some time to revisit the material before going live with it. Everything is further complicated by the fact that you need to keep a low profile. You set up a streaming studio in the other wing of Abby's house, never doing anything to indicate the two of you are in the same building. You don't even use her Wi-Fi, in case they get clever and subpoena Instagram for tracing purposes, or whatever it is they can do. You only stream through your phone's wireless data plan, which is what you're preparing to do right now as it happens. Are you almost ready to stream? Almost. Just brushing up on all this first. Also, I need to release the chapter itself, which I'll do in a minute. I've gotten so antsy to see how everyone will react to new stuff. Yeah, you've turned into a real discourse dumpster diver. I know, right? For real! Well, it's all a lot more interesting than the discourse my brand usually gets. Your discourse just revolved around, the fact that you're hot, and how good or bad your opinions were on K-pop. I think the occasional horse girl fight would erupt. Yeah. I notice you've been doled up in your Clownsona paint a lot more often lately, too. Even in your posts. I love my Clownsona! Not that I'm complaining, but it seems like my brand has completely hijacked yours at this point. The Jubilite cultural hegemony is truly a force to be reckoned with. Sure seems that way. All I know is I'm just having a lot more fun with putting your thing in the spotlight than what I was doing before. I think my whole influencer routine was getting a little stale, to be honest. Nothing like a lot of outrageous clown propaganda to liven things up. I'm proud to have fully indoctrinated you. No matter what happens from now on, I'll consider you my greatest conquest. Wow. That's pretty gay. Okay, I just posted the new shit. Let's wait a little while for that to make the rounds. Then I'll start streaming. Do you want to, rehearse your message or anything? I usually just wing it the moment I start streaming. It feels more real that way. Maybe we could talk about it anyway. So it's fresh in your mind? Sure. What do you want to talk about? Well, I read the chapter, and I've mainly been wondering how serious you are about this. About what? Clown gender. Yes. Abby, I am dead fucking serious about clown gender. I can totally believe that. I mean, I personally think it's interesting and all, but I think a lot of people will probably think you're joking, or trivializing a delicate subject. Of course they will. That's good, actually. It will help drive discourse and pull more people in. But the theoretical foundations of clown gender are totally solid. I think most of our fans will start caping for the idea. Especially the simps. Naturally, you can always count on the simps for a strong base of support. I fully expect the simps to start identifying as clown gender in their bios. If not, I will be so disappointed in them. I'm sure they won't let you down. Hey, wait, does that mean there are clown pronouns? I actually did come up with pronouns one time, but I never included them in the manifesto. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. Transing the simps. Yes, literally transing the simps. And I sincerely do not think you're ready for the clown gender pronouns. What are they? Squeak, whim, whiz. He, him, his. Squeak, whim, whiz. Ah! They're so good. They're so good. I guess I can see why that didn't make the cut. I think if I busted out those clown pronouns, people really would think I was taking a huge gender piss. Plus, I think it would get fucking annoying if tons of people started referring to themselves as squeak and wimself and shit. There are certain decisions you can make with clown ideology that are just plain irresponsible. Clearly. And we've shown nothing but impeccable restraint by promoting Pranksis. Yeah, Pranksis is just telling everyone to do a bunch of hilarious crimes. It's fine. So, if there are no clown pronouns, how do clown gender people refer to themselves? Literally any pronouns are applicable. He, she, they. It's a wild card gender. Like pulling out the Joker card for that part of your identity. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. So if I recall, there's a gender triangle? With 3 genders. Male, female, and clown on each point? That's a bit simplistic. You're excluding non-binary from the spectrum. See, look. The pyramid is a gender continuum. The bottom horizontal axis is a spectrum ranging from male to female with non-binary in the middle. That's all standard. You position yourself on this axis however you feel like. Then moving up the y-axis takes you closer to clown gender. Pretty close to here, personally. Definitely trans femme non-binary identify. Moving as close as I can towards just not giving a fuck about gender altogether, because I've just been misgendered so many times at this point. Why fucking bother? Also, girl voice is hard. I kind of like that I don't really have a specific voice. It's nice, whimsical. The higher you go, the less you resonate with the entire concept of gender at all. Like you're transcending the entire conventional spectrum, and seeing gender as the farcical social construct it really is. That's why it's clown gender. It embodies a whimsical attitude toward the whole deal. Any pronouns are fine. A true clown gender person wouldn't care what they were called. They embrace all pronouns. Anyone at the peak of the pyramid is a full clown gender individual. After my stream today, I plan to come out as clown gender. Oh, cool. You mean way at the top of the pyramid? Yeah. It'll get the ball rolling on the idea. Then we step back and let the discourse fly. But is it actually true? That you identify that way? It's true enough. I mean, I came up with all this shit, didn't I? Yep, that's why I gave you this voice, see? My voice, oddly enough. Wow, I'm so proud you're taking this big step. Thank you. I'll have to think about where I fit on your pyramid. I don't think I'm clown. I'm too cis-womany for that. I understand the text says she is cis-womany. I will respectfully agree to disagree. Especially considering what happens later with the gender thing. Yep, too cis-womany. Maybe it's just because she identifies with the gender binary very strongly? Who knows? Maybe that'll be revealed later. Who knows? Yeah, you are. Take your time with it. Meditate deeply on my clown gender continuum. One day, Riotous will bless you with an answer. Who? Oh, God. I haven't even really gotten into the lore yet. There's so fucking much. He's a mythical clown figure. The first Jubilite who lived millions of years ago. He comes to me in these crazy dreams sometimes, which is where I got most of this from. I'll probably start getting into this stuff in a few weeks. This all sure is something. People will probably flip out about it. I can barely even imagine the discourse surrounding whatever the hell this even is. Like a story? A religion? I'm sure it will be complete pandemonium. Deploying this material to the masses in its own way is a great form of praxis, actually. It's like meta-praxis. So the introduction of praxis to the world is also praxis. Jesus. Alright, ready to start streaming? Here, you can work the camera. Okay. Later. You both carefully study the aftermath of your clown gender stream for the rest of the day. As expected, the discourse is popping off. Passionate discussion flares up, resulting in a great many awful takes. Truly awful. Whereas others begin enthusiastically plotting themselves somewhere on your clown gender pyramid. All the most dedicated Jubilites vibe with the material instantly and update their clown sonas accordingly. All in all, you consider it a very successful installment to your serialized manifesto, and you celebrate this with your friend in the customary manner. By continuing to loot her parents' supply of preposterously expensive wine. Abby, I have bad news. What? We ran out of wine that costs over $10,000. Oh no! I had to get this one off the fucking bargain shelf. It's only $8,000 according to the web. Guess we'll have to make do with this swill tonight. Unbelievable. Forced to live like the common peasants. That's fine, we can rough it for a little while. Until our praxis ship comes in. Maybe we should debrief on all that tonight. Right? That's one of my favorite lines from this whole thing. Literally, every time I remember this game, I remember the line about fucking slumming it with $8,000 swill. Yeah, it's easy to lose track of our business objectives sometimes when everyone's in such a frenzy over clown gender. The reception to my gender pyramid couldn't possibly be better. The discourse is exquisite, much more satisfying than this discount piss wine for beggars. So where are we with this? Are you still seducing my mom? Yeah, I'm this close to getting her to want a divorce. Just needs another push or two. How are things going with your dad? I know, right? It's such a beautiful solo. Love just the jazziness of it. Good. I've certainly been talking to him a lot more frequently than he's ever come to expect. Which has actually made pulling the strings a lot easier. He's so delighted to be hearing from me often. I think it's made him a lot more willing to believe the stuff I'm saying. Almost makes me feel bad, kinda. Don't feel bad. Remember, these are bad people, actually. Oh, I know. It's hard to forget that, since the role-playing I've been doing has been making me feel pretty gross. Role-playing? Yeah, I've gone really hard in the direction of acting like I've taken a sudden conservative turn in my beliefs. I mean, I still keep it believable. I still say I hate Trump, and talk a lot of shit about Biden too, because he's obviously a rapist. He gets a kick out of it when I rant like that, because it wasn't even that long ago he hated Biden too. Before he started giving him millions of dollars, I mean. Yeah, looks like he's got a new crush. Your dad ex-Biden. Sounds like an especially torrid old man yaoi fic. No. But also, yeah, kinda, pretty much. So, like, I just go on like that. Barely even talk about Bitcoin anymore. Dad ex-Biden. That approach is too ham-fisted. It just makes it obvious I have some weird agenda after a little while. Instead, I spend a lot of time trashing our fans, calling them, like, gullible socialist simps who hate America. Well, that is basically what they are. It just so happens they're right to feel that way. Yeah, I just do a lot of sneering at their liberal bullshit, as if my experiences with the fans have really opened my eyes towards sensible conservative thinking. See, the trick is to take all the shitty things he's ever said about politics and, repackage those statements in my own voice and say it back to him. You think it would be suspicious, me suddenly flipping on a bunch of political shit we used to argue about. But I just know how he thinks. He loves hearing it, so he wants to believe it's true. It just confirms his biases, you know? He just assumes I'm growing up, dispensing with my childish political beliefs, and becoming the responsible heiress he always wanted me to be. This is genius. You are literally the CEO of fucking Pranksis right now. I feel like a silly baby toying with your mother's heart. No, your angle is so good, and God knows they need a divorce. You're helping them, actually. Yeah, they also have too much money, which turned them into shitheads. So we're doing them a favor by taking it, really. Oh, absolutely. I think I'm about to hit a wall, though. There are diminishing returns when it comes to email seduction. She obviously doesn't suspect at all that this isn't the real guy she's talking to. It's just I start running out of ammo with the sexting shit. It gets repetitive, and there's no way to up the ante. 'Cause, it's not like I can call her. Maybe what you need is a voice actor to play his part. It can really be any dude who's willing to bullshit through a fake affair as a rich Republican donor. Even someone much younger, like one of our simps maybe? It would have to be someone who wouldn't mind becoming deeply complicit in crypto fraud. That probably describes, half our followers? What? Or maybe it could be someone who already is complicit, even if he doesn't know it yet. This can only end well. You open your previous DM with Percy and pick up where you left off with your drunken conversation, like barely a day has gone by. This time, you make sure your flirtation is considerably less hostile, which he appears to appreciate. He's more than appreciative, actually. His instincts as a devoted simp seem to be in overdrive now, considering how much clout you've accumulated since you last spoke. He must feel quite special, given that he had a chance to speak with you when you only had a meager following of 1,000 people. This special feeling of elite ground floor access to you is a factor you can easily work to your advantage. By now, you doubt there's much you could ask of him that he wouldn't leap at the opportunity to help you with. And as a dedicated fan of your content, he should be more than thrilled to participate in a scheme which is such a quintessential act of Pranksis. You consider how many simps would kill for a chance to be in his shoes. Or, if not literally commit a murder, and then to at least be framed for one. Oh, or if not literally commit a murder, then to at least be framed for one. Yeah, that's better inflection. You decide not to mention your troubles with the law just yet, let alone the fact that you are arbitrarily decided to implicate him in the slaying of a police officer. That would really kill the mood. It could also overwhelm him, when you really need his wits as sharp as possible so he can play the role of a wealthy suitor to a middle-aged billionaire woman. After all the flirtatious pleasantries are over, you and Abby retire to the living rooms as you continue walking him through the play. So, just to be clear, you are asking me to call your friend's mother and engage in various forms of amorous banter. Yeah, but Jesus, Purse. Gonna have to turn on the charm a little better than that. Okay, I believe I can do that. Remember a few weeks ago when you slid into my DMs and started hitting on me? Well, I'm not sure I was, don't get me wrong, I think you're cool, and God damn it, Purse, you were a very thirsty boy that night. Don't fuck with me on this. I know an eager simp when I see one. Just reading that makes me giggle. Your move worked, didn't it? Here I am talking to you again, asking you to help us out with some super important, mission critical shit. So it's time to stop doubting yourself. You clearly have some killer Chad instincts or whatever, which even you don't fully grasp yet. Wow. So now I just need you to help the movement by channeling that sick Chad energy toward a rich woman who is extremely lonely and horny. I'll do my best. But aside from participating in a series of sexually charged conversations with this woman, I'm not sure what else to say exactly. I don't have the context for their previous interactions, or know anything about the character I'm supposed to be playing. Don't worry about that. I'll send you copies of all the email chains. I can also send you all the info I have on this guy. He's just some rich douche who gives Republicans a lot of money. She's met the guy once or twice, but otherwise never encounters him, except for these fake emails I've been throwing at her. Yeah, research material will be very helpful. Please send me everything you have. Purse, this is fucking amazing of you. It takes some real balls to do this. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. It's no problem, really. It sounds fun, and I'm happy to help. Hey, maybe after you've made some progress with our mark, you can hop a ferry over here. I mean, for real this time. Sorry if it sounded like I was fucking with you about that last time. No, it's okay. Sure, I'd love to. All I'm saying is, life on the island gets kinda lonely, you know? Slut. Like, real lonely. The pandemic isn't helping much either. Feels like an eternity since I, socialized. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. It's been quite some time since I had any company, outside of work, I mean. Just let me know when you'd like me to come, and I'll be there. You whore! Stop! Oh yeah, that's cool, Purse. Gotta go. Bye. Gay. Abby, I don't think I. It's okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have. No, it's fine. I don't want to hurt your feelings. It just seems like a bad idea. I just got carried away. I know you're not into me that way. I'm sorry. It's not that. I just. You don't have to apologize. You're straight. I get it. I know that. I'm just too pushy sometimes. No, it's not. I'm not even that straight. I don't think you understand me. I'd like to. Abby, you're like the only person in the world I actually care about? And all that, what we just almost did. For me, that's not. I don't know. It's certainly not about affection. It's more like, a weapon. Oh, that sounds. sad? Look at what I just was doing with Percy. This guy probably doesn't even really deserve any of this. You were just having some fun with him. And he likes it. It's so obvious that being able to help you out is like the best thing that ever happened to him. Abby, I fucking framed him for cop murder. Okay, yes, that was pretty bad. But you just panicked when talking to some cops. We can figure out how to deal with that. It wasn't like sending his photo was the result of some diabolical sex con. You just fucked up, that's all. Yeah, but it only happened because that was the day I began messing with him. Look, all I'm saying is, I'm kind of fucked up about this subject. And no matter what happens, I don't want to feel like I'm using that particular weapon against you. Does that make sense? Totally. I have to piss. We really flew that dollar store wine tonight, didn't we? Yeah. Hmm. Psychic damage. She wants to be with her. Just. Influencer Z, named person of interest in murder of Nantucket police officer. She's too dangerous to be with anyone. Especially someone she cares about. Heavy as the crown, I guess. Is there an epilogue? Yeah, another interlude. That's what I thought. Uh-oh. Looks like the authorities are finally closing in. You knew this was coming, right? You've been sloppy, Jen. You set up a shoddy alibi, pinned the shit on an innocent simp for some reason, and started babbling to a first responder about the witness protection program, for God's sake. We're not exactly dealing with a master criminal here, but I will say this much. We are dealing with a criminal who's got guts. And wherever there exist people with guts, there exist people who stand a chance. It took guts to dump that car in the Sound. It took guts to play it cool and start a kick-ass media empire out of the house of a highly visible internet celebrity. And it'll take even more guts to manage a brand with 1 million followers while you're a wanted felon making national headlines. So maybe it's time you put those guts to use? Maybe you're ready to make a real choice. You could always delete your account and pretend this never happened. That'd probably save you a ton of trouble. Or you could charge full steam ahead. Fuck the news, fuck the haters, and fuck the police. There isn't a force in heaven or earth that could slow your brand down now. So what'll it be, Jen? Can't stop now. Oops. Okay, this is my fault. I knew damn well this wouldn't work. If I'm being totally honest, I just wanted to say hello to again. To remind you I exist. To remind you what the stakes are. The facts have remained unchanged enough, though. The ability to make meaningful choices in this story are still only allowed to be unlocked by a true successor. And that still ain't you. But it does look like you're making some progress, so don't give up hope just yet. I'll check back on you soon enough. Just keep doing whatever it is you're doing. And I think we both know what that's gonna be. Because you're a fighter, Jen. It's what I love about you. Alright, that's where I'm gonna call it for the night. Although, I am going to idle on this music a bit because it's wonderful. Thanks for showing up. We had a gay moment there. Thank you for coming on stream. I know, right? It's really good. It's sad, and it aches, and it's really good. And it's gonna be okay. It doesn't look like it, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be so much better, too. Anyways, I'm going to go update my fucking gender on my Twitter, because I have officially streamed this. I get to have clown gender now. Yeah, no problem. That's actually one of the biggest reasons I'm doing it, is because it's a lot of reading. And it's honestly worth reading. Whatever my gripes are with the author, and with, a certain aspect of this game that I have made a rather lengthy, nearly manifesto-length review about. That's basically a singular gripe. And all the rest of it, I love. And, I have taken all of the time since then to come to peace with the gripe. It's more of a thematic gripe, after all, than it is a mechanical one. I mean, I guess it's mechanical, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, I just like reading this stuff out. It's nice. It's fun. Yeah. How'd you tell? Hit the nail on the head. Yep. It doesn't even make mouth motions in the direction of agency until the very end, and that always bugged me. So I get that it's a theme, and that's fine. It's just that, you know, Deltarune does a much better job of handling the theme of not having a choice, in my opinion. So yeah, that's good. I mean, if you have Cyberpunk, just making use of those resources, yeah. But yeah, this is almost the exact polar opposite of that. Although it is pretty cyberpunk. It's punk, it's hackers, it's mid-apocalyptic. I was gonna say post-apocalyptic, but nope. It's mid. Apocalypse in progress. Yeah, right? And it's fucking so dope. Just worth it for all of the clowns, all of the pranksis. Honestly, yeah, I feel that. Whereas this, I'm actually like coming to peace with it by playing this and reading it out, like enjoying the material much more. I'm almost yelling away my own negative review that I left, although I won't delete that because I mean, I wrote that. It would be cowardly to delete it. But yeah, I'm kind of a different person now than I was when I first read this. And I'm really enjoying how it feels. And also making it public rather than consuming it privately. I have been thinking about it as a form of pranksis in and of itself. Meta pranksis. The meta pranksis being the introduction of pranksis to the world, the meta pranksis being what's going to happen. And then the third meta coming from me actually playing this game. I've had too many moments, especially on Red Planet and Sophie streams. I mean, Pinko the Clown. Yes. The redacted is Pranksis. But it's, yeah, right? Pinko, if you ever come across this, a honk. Would love to be fellow clowns in jubilation. But I have been inspired to do this again, because I've been seeing so much socialist and clown rhetoric converging at the same time again, and it's like I've been having the weird dreams again too. And I've started standing up in those dreams and fighting back. I got shot at in one of those dreams. And I didn't die. I feel like this is the right thing to do, is to start spreading clown rhetoric and fight back and accept what happens because of spreading it, you know? It feels like the right time and the right thing to do. And it has not escaped my attention that both Jen and I are doing this because our dreams basically told us it was the right time to start rolling it out. So I'm doing this first. Constructing my clown sona over the process. I mentioned recurso. That's a bit of a joke. My clown sona would be Calvario, probably. Or just Calvaria. Could probably just stick with Calvaria. Yeah, that would be fine, wouldn't it? And updating my gender as clown gender, because I have put it out into the world. It's attached to me in some way. There's lore to it now. Clownvaria? Oh, I love you so much. Oh, I could kiss you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Yes, yes. So yes, Clownvaria. I love that. That works on so many levels. Oh, you're the best. I'm really glad I mentioned that here. That feels like the golden path. And yeah, I am. My manifesto's been kicking around in my head for a while. I've had some really impassioned arguments with people about it, and then I had a dream about that impassioned argument just before I started streaming this. Actually, like the night before. So I'm putting it on paper finally. It's very much a work in progress. It's barely an outline, but it is all upstairs. And eventually it's all going to be on paper, and I'll start rolling it out. For anyone who cares. I doubt anyone's going to care. But it's for personal reasons, really. Just to have it done, instead of having to rehearse it from memory every time as my memory's getting worse. You'll care because you're very sweet and lovely. And I already said I'm gonna kiss you. I can't. I'm gonna like tackle you and cuddle the shit out of you and lots of gay kisses. Honk. But yes, hopefully, if it helps even one person figure out something about their gender, something about how they feel about society, become a little more whimsically socialist, any of these things, I feel like that will have been a net positive. May Hussy personally come to my door and give me shit for my negative review that I left all those years ago. I will absolutely cop to my change of tune if it comes to that. But I doubt they care. They're too busy getting arrested for having 12 pounds of meth. No, I'm kidding. Not even as a joke. I won't even finish that sentence as a joke. Hussy is pretty weird, and this is a deeply personal thing. And in this deeply personal Hussy fic, there is a list of documented haters. So I would not at all be surprised if I made that list. I would not be surprised if I got the same treatment, and I would just accept that. That's okay. I'll own it. I do not think that it's worth trying to cover up or change the past. I'm actually proud of having taken the time to write a negative review, even if I don't stand by it anymore, because it's like, I felt very strongly about this, and I still feel strongly about it. And it just helped me get a lot of those feelings on the page, even if they were profoundly negative at the time because of a very specific gripe I had. And yeah, everyone is too online sometimes. Honestly. If Hussy winds up finding this, good for them, you know? I don't give a fuck. In fact, I will proudly stand by it and mention that this is my own form of pranksis, and cop to being inspired by it, and whatever, you know? All I know is I've been to way too many Red Planet talks, and seen too much Pinko the Clown, and had too many of my own weird dreams. Not to do this. It no longer feels like I have a choice to do it or not. It's like if I don't do it, I'm running from it. Yeah, there's some shit that I'm writing down that literally came to me in a dream. I do love doing that, though, to be perfectly fair. That's like a large portion of my writing style. My first memory is a dream. What do you expect? I'm more my dream self than my waking self sometimes. But yeah, really excited to see where this goes. This is chapter 4 I'm gonna start next time, which will be on Thursday. I should be able to chew through this at this rate, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. It'll be done next week. Next week, Thursday. I'll have finished Psycholonials. Once it gets going, you can see that pace really gets away from you. It's only 9 chapters, and of those 9 chapters, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 interludes. Maybe 5 if you include the finale. I don't know if I counted that right. But, yeah, it'd be 5 if you include the finale. But, yeah, it's a pretty bite-sized, especially from the person who wrote Homestuck, you know? Much more focused and angry and to the point. And I'm kind of angry right now. And I'm in much the same situation Jen is. Almost like we have similar names. And similar situations. Hell, my college career even saddled me with a whole bunch of extra computing equipment that I don't know what to do with and haven't touched in a while. Because I'm too depressed to. There's like 50 gigs of data on there for my project. I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't really want to delete it, but it's just kind of filling up space. So I'll put it to use. I never actually even wound up getting it sanctioned by my advisor. So as long as I spruce it up a bit, shift it around, I could make use of a lot of those insights. May even be able to make some of my own figures. And I remember I learned a lot of weird stuff during that time it felt revolutionary, just learning it. Made me angry about the way things were. Made me confused when I would have conversations with my advisor that were antithetical to what I was discovering. And so I can't really use anything that's like specifically, the project, obviously, because of how that works. I would, if anything ever became of it, I'd get in trouble. But the stuff that was entirely like my own volition, the stuff that he never sanctioned, I could probably make use of that. And I had a lot of fun with like triangle waves and sawtooth stuff and square waves. Yeah, I was inspired partially by Homestuck. Sue me. And I mean, to give a bit of a spoiler, it's about how we're all working way too hard. Just in general. Not only laboring under the delusion that mistakes are a bad thing, rather than a incredibly productive part of the process. If anything, something that should be welcomed and encouraged as much as possible. But also that the amount of energy we're putting into our successes and just our mistaken attempts outside of that is excessive, patently. And the model I used is a nanostructure that forms the basis of thought. It describes the dynamics of literally the brain works. Tubulin kinetics. And tubulin kinetics are the framework, the substrate for containing cognitive thought processes. A single thought is something like on the order of 1,000 tubulins, all in oscillating sequence. And I programmed tons of oscillating sequences. Stuff like, I already mentioned the square waves and sawtooth waves, but I was experimenting with conditions and procedures, protocols, really, they should be called, that would that should be used to for anything, really, but specifically things that involve the human brain. So tubulin. Also, tubulin has a lot to do with, the rest of the body and how it's constructed. For instance, my boobs hurt today. As a trans girl, my boobs hurt. They hurt a lot. And I know, right? Well, I mean, tubulins in other brains, too. But, they hurt because they're growing and they're made of tubulin. And there's a certain amount of misbinding or poorly optimized binding that's occurred that needs to have a certain amount of mechanical agitation in order to undo. So it's, interestingly enough, it could not physically be linear. The growth process itself just doesn't work that way. So it's about embracing mistakes. It's about learning when to welcome phases of pure mistakes. When to stop pushing yourself so hard, and how to stop treating other people like they're lesser than you, or like they need to work harder than you, or anything else. It's about appreciating how much work we're doing being alive. And making memories. And just maintaining a body. And fuck all the rest of that. So it's inherently anti-capitalist because capitalism is fundamentally at odds with what I'm trying to write. And I'm toying with like how silly I can make the name. I'm not sure I want manifesto in the title. I think I'm gonna go with something like the Lego Protocol. Something like that. I'll get into it. Maybe, the Brainworm Protocol. That could be it. Something funny like that. I don't know. Something inflammatory and, that welcomes you reading more in order to find out what the fuck I'm on about, you know? Anyways, yeah. I've rambled about it long enough. I should save more of my ramblings for the actual thing. I already have a really decent outline. Obviously, as some people know, I badly need a producer. And so, in order to act as my own producer, I need, my ADHD meds to finally fucking come through. Speaking of capitalism, fucking supply line issues. God. And second of all, I just need to spend more time making sure that it's coherent and understandable and not a rambly piece of shit. But I know what I'm gonna say. I even have some figures I would like to draw. To illustrate my point. And I have articles that I would pull from as well and use their figures. Protocol entropy is one of my favorites I love to crack out, and I'm probably going to use that there. But yeah. Thank you for coming to the stream and also for listening to my weird big plans. My yeah. My own little angry socialist plans. I mean, yeah, it's really exciting to do this and to write it. I will try to release it soon. The best I can do for that is I have a bunch of other stuff that I need to finish working on, and I need meds. The second I get meds, I'm probably gonna start fucking cranking it out though. Because I'm doing all of this unmedicated. Which, yes, I need to take my meth. The same way I got through my entire high school and college and post-undergraduate, my graduate career, unmedicated. By gritting my teeth and getting really fucking angry about it. Also that, I do have a fridge full of Monster. I cannot deny that. Also, I have lots of really wonderful, highly caffeinated tea, so somewhere in the middle of all this, I managed to get it done. I wrote a master's thesis in 2.5 months. I can fucking write this on a timeline. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to drink less energy drinks. Yeah, I will get my caffeine wherever I can come by it. Hell yes. Honk. The peak of the trans culture clown tent. Energy drink girl, a tea girl. Oh yes, a Yorkshire tea girl. Hell yeah. I've been drinking energy drinks literally since I could purchase energy drinks. Like, you know, both a Red Bull and a Monster. Yes, as is traditional. I've been drinking coffee since Calvary. Yeah, technically I've been drinking caffeine, if you count soda, since I was like 5. The body needs what it needs, you know? I find it really funny that my dad, he fucking drinks tons of Diet Coke and then looks down on people who drink coffee because he doesn't like to be dependent on substances. Just incredible. If you ever hear this, Dad, you're a fucking hypocritical piece of shit, and everyone's laughing at you. You are the Dirk Strider of life. Yeah, quitting Diet Coke is not easy. That shit do taste pretty good, and he would literally buy it by the 48 can pallet. I consider the fact that I still have, an apartment to have been pranksis. I even accepted all of the toxic rhetoric he spewed, and I didn't fight him nearly as much as I should have. Mostly because if I did, he would have immediately hung up the phone and made that perfectly clear. But, yeah, I would like to pranksis the shit out of him. He is who I think of when I think of Abby, taking her parents over the coals for tons of money and specifically talking to her dad and, like, pretending she's into his rhetoric. Because my dad, we've never talked about it, but there's no way he didn't vote for Trump. My uncle is a fucking CEO, and if I managed to pranksis him, that would be, like, the fucking holy grail. Honestly, one of the other things that's wrapped up in that is the sweetener, aspartame. And I will also mention that the carbonation gets it into your bloodstream faster, which can also feel like it's adding to the effect. But it also adds to how addicting it is, because faster into the bloodstream, faster out of the bloodstream, you know? Kind of like taking butt shots. Yeah, tea's uncarbonated, so you're not going to be able to get a perfect control there, even if you had it down to the milligram. Although matching it with aspartame is definitely, yeah. But yeah, we're also talking. It's carbonated. That's a big one. And Coke adds stuff like phosphoric acid, you know, which is another issue. How are you getting the fizzy tea? That's what I'd like to know. That seems like it would be a bit of a complicated process of either dilution or post-brewing carbonation and then reheating. Which, heating a carbonated drink seems difficult. Technically feasible, but yeah. I mean, there's a reason why energy drinks have their own pack, you know? I bet you do. But yeah, I drink tea, just plain, straight up. That's how I enjoy the Yorkshire. No what? Yes. Hell yes. I can only imagine that you have to heat it in like a pressure cooker so that it doesn't lose all its carbonation by the time it boils. And then like I'm just imagining like this whole like high-tech tea setup, and I love it. I love every second of it. Could always make sun tea. Yeah, right? Like that just sounds awesome. That'd be a great way of performing Pranksis, you know? Publish the fizzy tea. Well, yeah, so the thing is, we're not just talking about using a soda stream. We're not just talking about having tea. We're talking about it being piping hot tea. And it has to still be hot by the time you drink it. It has to be hot and fizzy, and it has to have both all of the fizzy bubbles and be the perfect drinking temperature. Adding in the carbonation to a soda stream would cool it down too much. There's layers to this. Plus, the soda stream comes with those plastic bottles, and you don't want to be pouring boiling water into those. Yeah, I think that there's some potential there. I think the true way is definitely to make it in large batches, allow it to cool. Yes, you don't put it under pressure when you're making it. You'd have to use low pressure, or at least a sealed container, when heating it back up to just the right temperature, after brewing it and then bringing it down to room temperature and taking the leaves out. It doesn't need to necessarily go all the way down to room temperature, just low enough to be safe to introduce the carbonation. Yeah, I'm thinking there's some potential for this. Could probably run some experiments with Arizona tea. And then dilute it with fizzy water? Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. But then it'd make it dilute, so would you overbrew it maybe? Or double bag it? That would be a way. Make sure that the fizzy water is as high of temperature as you can handle storing it. Honestly, I think that if that was the end of your video, that would be a Pranksis ass fucking video. We go through the whole thing, talking about all these arcane ways to do it, and then just do the same thing with that I do with my tea and milk. If I have milk and if I drink it with my tea at all, I drink the tea and then I drink the milk separately. Because I like to drink the milk separately. Yes! Top 3 ways to make fizzy water. Top 3 ways to make fizzy tea. And then the last one is just mixing it in your mouth. Hell yeah. That would be some sick fucking Pranksis. Seriously. Take the shit away from the Coke company and the fucking energy drink companies, who are probably also Coke at this point. And just Take it back for the tea drinkers of the world. Oh my god, yes. This is like, everything's extremely traditional. You even have your own compunctions with it, but like, you're just following the tradition, and certainly you're not one to buck tradition. This is just, honoring your culture. Making fizzy tea by swishing it around in your mouth. One mouthful at a time. It'd be perfect. Oh my god. But yeah, that's actually why champagne is like... Because you can't really replace champagne as an alcohol either, That's why people only use it for special occasions. It's not that it's that strong, it's that it's a carbonated alcoholic drink, and it's a very heavily carbonated one. And even compared to beer, it'll slam right into your blood immediately. So drinking champagne is a great way to get drunk really fast. You get undrunk really fast on it too, so it's ideal for like New Year celebrations, where you're drinking it late at night. You want it to hit at just the right time, and you want it to leave your system. And that's probably the same reason why Diet Coke's so difficult to kick. It's just caffeine instead of alcohol, Yeah, I'm getting sleepy too. Those are chalcogens. You can get those from that, and also medication overuse headache. It's probably a combination of those. Don't drink anything that gives you a migraine. All right. Good night. I'm also gonna sign off here. This has gotten a little too rambly. Thanks for showing up. Good night. And I'll see you in 2 days when I stream 2 more chapters. Get to the next interlude. Have a good night.